interpret. And data manipulation is using numerical and statistical analysis, analyzing the data to find the trends, patterns, correlation, and outliners to get meaningful insight, information. Speaking. Now move to the slide. In this slide, in this section, we will see detail about pandas. Agenda of this session is we will see about introduction about pandas, installing and importing pandas, and key data structures in pandas, working with data frames, data manipulation with pandas, data aggregation and grouping. We will see about time series analysis, and also see about data visualization, and finally we will see that some small working section in pandas in Python, and finally about conclusion. Wait, sorry. Yeah. Introduction. What is pandas once again? Pandas is a popular open source library built on top of the NumPy for data visualization, manipulation, and data analysis. And also pandas offers high performance, easy to use data structures like series and data frames, we will see about later, and data analysis function. And also now pandas is widely used in data science, finance, research, and various other domains. There are many libraries, but particularly why we need to choose pandas? Because pandas is a powerful, flexible, and easy to use library, and is also well documented and also supported by many communities. Like we can easily get the detail about pandas using very communities, and also very many people are using that helping using pandas. Pandas simplifies the manipulation task like filtering, grouping, slicing, indexing. For that purpose, pandas used to simplify the task, and it also pandas seamlessly integrated with used to another Python libraries like NumPy and Matplotlib to give visualization. Importance of the data analysis. Why we need to do data analysis? We are working in an organization, or we are working in a college, or people are studying, people are joining the course. That is also everything is data. Without analyzing the data, we will not be able to improve that in employment productivity or revenue, everything. For that purpose, we need to identify the trends, patterns, and correlation for that. It is also helpful to use better decision making and problem solving purpose. How to install pandas and how to import the pandas. Pandas installed using pip package manager, like pip install pandas. And how import pandas? Importing pandas used by install statement. Import pandas as PD, like that. Key features of the data. Key features of the pandas. What are the? We'll see about what are the key features of pandas that mainly used in Python. It provides data visualization, high data visualization. It supports multiple file formats like CSV file, GeoJSON file, and also Excel. Like that, it supports many file format. It supports data handling missing data. to handle missing data. It's optimized performance, and also it uses to alignment and indexing. For that purposes, this is the key features of pandas. Key data structures. What is key data structures? Key data structures are building blocks of the data analysis. They are used to store and organize the data that easy to work. The main key data structures used in pandas are series and data frames. We will see one by one in next upcoming slides. Key data structures. Key data structures are one-dimensional labeled array. Series are one-dimensional labeled arrays in Panda. It's capable of holding any data types like integer, float, types, strings, etc. like that. Each element in the series are unique labels. Like it's all the values are indexed with labels, like index labels. We can easily use indexes to value contain 12 minus 4 7 9. Using that index values like 0 to access 12 and 3 to access 9. For that purpose we'll use the indexes. Data frames have two-dimensional labeled arrays with rows and columns. It is similar to spreadsheet or data table. Data frames are defined standard way to store the data with two different indexes like row indexes and column indexes. Data frames are used to handle structured data to easily allowing indexing, slicing, filtering, and data manipulation purposes. Here is the sample data frame created using registration number of students, name, and marks percentage. Using the percentage marks, using the registration number, we will access the percentage mark of students. Creating data frame is straightforward in pandas. We can create a data frame using various data sources such as like numpays, CSV files, Excel spreadsheet, SQL database. Using that, we can easily create a data frame. Here is the example data frame created using dictionaries that contains names, age, and gender of the persons. Loading the data into a data frame can be using various sources. Like we can easily load the CSV file using pandas.readcsv, and to load Excel files using pandas.reads Excel file, and we use that pandas to reads SQL file, read SQLs to read SQL files. Also, we can easily use pandas read GeoJSON file, HTML file. You can also use the further syntaxes. Inspecting data is used by inspecting first few rows, last few rows, and shape of dimension of the data frame, information about the data frame, and with the data types and describable data frames like maximum, mean, and 75% data, 85%, 50% data, 25% data. For that purposes, we use that inspecting data. Data frame dot head is used to inspecting first few rows only. For example, I have created here that I have loaded the my Excel file using pandas.read Excel and filter that first few rows only by data frame dot head. In the bracket I have given 10 rows to only see about 10 rows. Using that using that we can use 100 rows or 50 rows depending upon our conditions. df.tail is used to last few rows. Same as that we can filter that last few rows like 10, 15 like that. We are also give that. Data frame of shape is used to dimension of the data frame. Like 5 cross 5 data frame or 21 cross 5 data frame like that. We'll for identify purpose. We use data frame dot shape. Data frame dot info is used to identify that information about data frame, including what type of data type that is data frame that used. And data frame describe is used for that information about mean, maximum, mode, standard deviation, 75% data, 50% data for that purposes. Data frame dot describe is used. We'll see about this in working session. Row selection is done by using iloc or dot lock functions. Dot lock is label based. For that, we have to use label value of the index. iloc function is used to iloc function is integer based, so we have to give columns integer position value. Filtering and querying the data with Boolean indexing is done by conditions like greater than, less than or not. Using that, we can Boolean using that filter the data Boolean indexing. Missing data handling is very useful in pandas. For that purposes, we will use that is null to identify is there any null values present in the table or data frame. If it is null values present, that shows true. If it is not, it shows false. Drop now is used to drop the null values data in the data frames, and fill now is used to fill the null values with another data. Using functions as like iloc or dot iloc, we can index with conditions giving that greater than or less than, or using use that condition with indexing. Pandas provides various methods to select data into data frame, like row-wise selection, column-wise selection, and the index selection. We will see about this. In column selection, we will directly give that column name. Data frame dot column names we give is that column name is directly selected. For example, I have selected I have loaded the data frame, and in the data frame, I have selected the pond ID of column with that I want to show only last 10 rows. 10 rows. For that, I have used tail functions, and to filter column data frame dot pond ID dot tail ID is used, and that in that values that only shows 10 rows of the data frame. This is some small example for the data load data frames. Like music data is that consists of a data frame that consists of artists, genre, and listeners loaded, and in that we select only first row by using data frame dot location 0 locate 0 by using we select first row only. And to select first to that listeners column, we directly use data frame that listeners column. Data manipulation. Data manipulation is arranging and organizing data that easy to interpret. For example, We have the data about employees. Data about employees arranged in different orders that makes not comfortable to understand the data. For that purpose, we will use that arranged by alphabetic order. Can use that. For that, we can easily identify information about data. That simplifies the task. Uh, and renaming the column is used by data frame dot rename. We can use that changing that column name, and to change that data types, data frame dot as type is used. To cleaning that process the data, drop duplicate function is used, and that to drop the data frame, drop the duplicate values. Sorry, not data frame, drop the duplicate values, and data frame dot replace is used to replace the value, the existing value with the data. Mathematical operations, data manipulation. Perform element-wise mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. We can perform that mathematical operation. For example, to calculate the sale about that particular week, we just multiplying the total quantity of product sell on the particular week with that respective price. Adding, modifying, and deleting columns. Assignment function is used to add a new column or modify the existing one, and drop function is used to delete the column. Sorting and ranking the data. Dot sorting function is used to sort the functions based on the certain conditions, and dot rank function is used to assign the rank to the functions. Data aggregation and grouping. Grouping the data. Grouping the data is organizing or categorizing the data with specific criteria or conditions. For that purpose, data frame dot group by is used. For example, we will take about we want to filter group the total sale about sale on the city is using that group by city. Applying aggregation functions. Aggregation function is the process of analyzing individual data and combining and summarizing the data to get meaningful informations like sum, mean, count, mode, standard deviation, like that. Common aggregation functions used. For example, calculating the total sales and count of the customers in the each city. Like how much the sale done by the particular customer or particular salesperson. For that purposes, we can use that aggregation functions. Combining group by with other operations. Pandas provides combining group by with other operations such as filtering, sorting, indexing to analyze the data in depth. Reshaping and pivoting table. Data frame dot pivot table is used to create pivot the table and summarize the reshaping. For example, pivoting the table to show age of persons in the cities, like how much percentage of available in 30 to 50 30 to 50 age group, how many persons available in 40 to 80, like that. We will show that pivot tables. Time series analysis. Pandas provides various functions to analyze the time series data to get meaningful informations. Time series data represents the data collected in two different times or different time intervals. Handling data and times. Pandas to date and time function is used to convert the data type of date columns. Like if the date column is string or anything, means it will convert it used to date and type data frame. Example, converting the Nurim column that purpose. Time-based indexing and slicing. Indexing and slicing are used to select the data from data frame based on the specific conditions, like using iLock or dot lock functions. Like to only show about like we'll see we already seen that to only show about uh, uh, viewers and the listeners like that. Example, set the data. We'll see about this example. We'll see that the example in later. Uh, Resampling and frequency conversion. Dot resampling function is used to resample the data, like upsampling or downsampling. Like I have a monthly data, a monthly sales data. I want to calculate about weekly sales data or yearly sales data. For that purpose, we can use that resampling, upsampling or downsampling. Rolling window calculations. Dot rolling function is used to calculate rolling windows calculations, like moving average. Example, calculating 7 days moving average of this sale. Data visualization. Data visualization is pandas is like using the combined with other libraries like matplotlib to provide convenient plotting functions like line plot, scatter plot, and other area plot like that. We can easily use using pandas. And data frame dot plot is used to create basic plot. Customizing the plot, like customizing color, customizing axis, and customizing that x values, y values. Like for that purpose, using you can use customizing plots. Subplots and layouts. Subplot function is used to identify the data more clearly. For example, I have plotted the data about district. I want to view the data in depth. For that purpose, we can use subplot to find about taluk-wise data. Plotting time series analysis. Panda provides specialized functions for time series data, including line plots, area plot, and scatter plot. For the purpose, we can use that time series analysis. Advanced topics in pandas are merging. We can merge that existing data frame with new data frame with that same columns. Is using pd dot merge. Pd dot join is used to join that two data frame with key data, and also pd dot construct is used to combine the data, and also they are handling data set with memory optimizations, like we can use chunking, selective loading, and type conversion for functions. We can easily handle the data. Chunking is nothing but uh, we have a large data and splitting chunk files and then processing. This is chunking. Working with multi-level and hierarchical indexing. Multi-level and hierarchical indexing help to process the data, multi-dimensional and multi-level data. Handling outliners and anomalies in the data. We can we can analyze the data, find out outliners or anomalies in the data using uh, uh, functions like filtering, slicing, aggregation functions. You can use that. Using data with other libraries. Pandas seamlessly integrate with other libraries like NumPy, Matplotlib to give better results. Best practice and use tip for effective usage of pandas. How we can effectively use the pandas. That is the using that use means optimizing performance with vectorized operations. Vectorized operation nothing but that processing the whole column or the rows with the inbuilt functions. Using inbuilt functions for common tasks like sum, mean, aggregation, slicing, and selective loading for that inbuilt functions use that increase that pandas effectiveness. Avoiding common pitfall and errors. Errors like syntax error and data types and memories for the common errors. We can avoiding these common errors. We can use effectively in pandas. Resource for further learnings and references like pandas documents using pandas documents or pandas support community. We can effectively use the pandas. How advantage of pandas over other libraries like NumPy or Matplotlib. Matplotlib and NumPy are also libraries used to data visualization and manipulation purposes. But why we need to use pandas, and what is differing strength, differing or uniqueness of pandas compared to NumPy and Matplotlib? It provides high-level data manipulation, and also it tabular in pandas data frame is used to mainly used for tabular data structures for easily analyze the tabular data. For that purposes, a data frame is created. Missing handling data. Pandas is one of the main advantages missing handling data. Like we will use that isNav function is to find about is there any null values present in the table or not. FillNav function is used to fill the data with new values, and dropNav function is used to drop the null values. For that, these are the data handling functions, and also data integration and analysis. Like you discussed, that pandas will seamlessly integrated with libraries like NumPy and Matplotlib to provide more visualization, and also we can use that strength of the both pandas and NumPy or Matplotlib using that these pandas. It also automatically data alignment and use indexing. These are the advantages of pandas. Pandas, where we can apply the pandas, the major application of pandas are advertising, to show advertisement to selective peoples and how they are seeing the, like some people are listening the music means when they are listening the which type of music and how many times they are spending to listening music. This type of data we can analyze this, and we can suggest that put add-on that listen this type of music also like that. And statistics to analyze big data in the neuroscience department, we can also use pandas. Analytics, data science, economics, and to predict the stock, we can use that pandas. Real-time application of pandas in aquaculture. Also, here in aquaculture, we're getting the data from import department, and export department, sales department, procurement department, and also it also gives that transportation cost. How much transportation cost we are spending to transport that material, and also how much sales force you have. These are the data available for us. Using that data, we load that, convert to the CSV and load that into data frame. And processing and cleaning the data. Is there any anomalies or missing data available? If there are missing data available, it means you can use that, remove this missing data. After that, we can visualize the data. like how is data is look like, is there any trends or patterns coming, like that we can visualize the data. Mm, After that we can do a time series analysis, how much sales done by last week, how much sales we can expect next week. For that purposes we can use that time series analysis. After that, using that statistical and numerical analysis, we can identify that insights. Insights means we can outputs. Using that outputs, we can interpret and get insights. Using that insights, we can apply and increase the sales force and procurement and reduce the transportation cost. For this purpose, we can use that pandas. And other real-time applications are, we can also use pandas in traffic. Like we got traffic flow using that CCTV cameras. Like how much flow is going on which time, and where they are originating, where is that where they are going. Is there any industrial area or companies present in that area there where they are going for. Using the data we can analyze the traffic flow and improve that signals, like where we can put the signals to reduce the traffic flow, like that. And we can also calculate city population using that Python, sorry, pandas. Like how much population currently available and where they are present. They are presenting the in which area they are population is more, which areas their population is less, how much population we can expect next 10 years, like that we use the pandas. And also we can use import and export analysis, like how much import done, how much export done, like the for the purposes. And also which type of buildings available in which places, like industrial areas, where is industrial areas, where is slum areas, where is well settled people areas, where is high resolution buildings. We can use that for that purpose. Also we can use pandas. uh, yeah, another one example is we can analyze the student percentile marks. For example, in one district, under schools are present. In under schools, how much people are passed, how much percentage of students passed, and how much percentage of passed in between that 45 to 60, how much percentage of persons passed in 60 to 80, how much percentage of persons passed in above 90, and how much percentage of persons failed in which subject. Using that data, we analyze that data, we can improve that students pass percentage. These are the real-time applications. Now we will see about some small working session. I will end that slide and reshare that working session now. Now we will see about how to install the pandas. Pandas directly installed to pip installation manager, like pip install pandas. So, I am just executing this. I have already installed the pandas, so I am getting like this. If I am not installed, it means it will show pandas installed successfully. And we will see about loading the data into data frame. I have CSV file that in my system, like AP Vestugolavari PG file. I have just loaded this file here, and before that I am just imported that pandas. I am imported the pandas SPD here data frame pd.read. I am reading CSV file for that. So I am using read CSV. Now I am executing this. The data is read. This is the data I have read. If I want to see about information about the data, means just I want to just use info functions. See that it gives information about data types, like pond ID is object, pond name is float, like that it will give the information about data types. Now we'll create a sample data using data frame. Data frame that contained libraries data like date, temperature, and humidity. For that purpose, I have used here data frame equal to pd dot data frame. In that data, I have given that libraries data. Now I am executing this. Wait, I will uncheck this. I will tell about what is the test later. Here, I have loaded the data. I have created the data frame. But in the data, that date type is in variable character, not in that datetime format. For that purpose, I am directly using pd dot datetime. Data frame, I have selected the date column. In here, pandas dot to datetime. In that, I have given that data column. So now I am executing this. See now that data type of the column is changed to datetime format. So now we will see information about the oh. See now it is changed to datetime format. For that purposes we can use pandas. Now we will see about another example. Now we will see temperature to print the temperature columns only. For that purposes, data frame dot I have used data frame. I only selected temperature. See here the temperature column only selected the data frame with the index number, and also it shows data type of the that column. I want to select temperature column with the positioning of zeroth index. See here, wait a minute. This is the data frame, and this is the index. In that index, in this temperature, I have given the temperature column label. In this, I want zeroth position of just zeroth row that temperature value is directly printed 28 now. If we want that humidity means we directly put that humidity here, and I am changing that I want third index number of third data. Here, index number of that humidity column is 65. It's directly print 65 now. Now we'll see about another data. Now we'll use ilog functions to print the data, slice the data. Here, what I have done is I have just selected that data frame of 1th index to 5th index, and column of ilog function is integer based. So I have given integer positioning of that columns like 0 to 3. We'll execute that. What we look what that data look like. See that table is printed here. Expect that 0th index, because I have selected only 1 to 5th. What it will do is it will take 1 to before 5th values, and it will print. If I want that all the data, I will just use 0. Sorry, if I want to select 2 to 3 and 5, I will just use 3 and 5th index. In that humidity and temperature. Here 3 and 5th index are only printing. I want to print whole data means I will just use 0th index to 5th index and print. Here the total data is printing. Boolean indexing, like using the conditions like greater than or less than, we will find out that filter the data. We will filter the data. Like we will see here the example that I have filtered the data frame using that humanity column less than 65. I want wherever the humanity is less than 55, I want to print the data. Here the data is printed that humidity is less than 65. Here there is no see the data there is no greater than 55. Only less than 55 data is printed here. If I want to print that less than 60 or greater than, if I want to print greater than 65 means I will just use greater than, and just I am now enter. We'll see here it is only printing greater than 65. This is how it's work. Now we'll see some data handling functions. Like wait, I'm just see I'm just printing the data. In the data, some values are missing. In temperature, uh, in 2nd July, temperature value is missing, and 4th July, humidity value is missing. We'll use that ISNA function to find about is there any missing data is or not. ISNA function. See, if the data is present, it shows false, false, false. But if data is not present, it's null value, it only shows true, true. For that, we will use that ISNA functions to find out the missing data. Now we will use that FILNA functions. We'll use FILNA dot FILNA. FILNA nothing but filling null value. ISNA is there null or not, like that. I am filling that 30. Wait. See here that temperature value on the 2nd February, 2nd July is filled with 30, and also that humidity value of 4th July is filled with 30. Here it shows null, but here filled with 30. Now we will do that drop now functions. Drop now is nothing but dropping null values. Dot drop now. See, the null values columns are dropped and printed the values. We can use that this type of data handling to clean our data. Now slicing the data frame. We'll see. We'll take here 2 dates and try to slice the data. First, I will here I will create a data frame. See, I have created a data frame with the same temperature and humidity columns. Now I will do. I have set that date column as the index, and in place is true means select is confirm, like that confirming. I have I want to slice the date starting days of 2nd July to 4th July, and that end date is. For that purpose, I have just used dot log functions. Slice data frame equal to here data frame dot log function is used. In that it is directly taking that 2nd February to 4th February. Now I am executing. We will look what the data is looking like. See, it is that data before slicing, and it is the data after slicing. Here only shows data up to data 2nd July to 4th July, because we given that range only. If you change the data frame to 4th, I want that 4th July to 5th July, it will give that 5th July, like 2nd July to 5th July. It like that it works. now we will see about plotting the data. Here I have created the sample data frame using a data library. Sorry, the data frame using date, temperature, and humidity. Example data, that is, I have just here changed that column to date, and I am here plotting the data. Like I am first giving that figure size now. Plot dot figure size. Figure using to uh, give the figure size here. I am giving figure size of 8,5. Now plot dot plotting that plot. Data frame here, I have given first taken the x column is date and y column is temperature, and labeled as x label is labeled as temperature, and I have given this mark how I want to point about that point using that star. I have given the color red. Using that same, I have also created the plot for humidity. Humidity. Now I have defined that x label. I have given this y label in the range, and title is I have given this title is data versus temperature and humidity, and I have given also legend and a grid. I need grid or not. Yes, I need grid, so I have given true. And layout, tight layout. I will here it is used to show the plot. Now we will see about the plot now, how it is look like. See here the temperature data values changing that represent depending upon the time, and here that plot is plotted. We can use that figure size, increase the figure size like 12. I can use 8. Now figure size is changed. If you want to change that pointer mark, I will just use that pointer mark, like I will use X here. Sorry. And use X. Here I will change the point to star, star, and I will change that color to red instead of green. Here orange to blue. Now I will try to plot that. Here the plot color is changed. Here the star is changed to plus is changed to star. Here also created the star. Further, this is the example for creating the plot. We will see about subplots, how we can use subplots. Here, same as here, I have created the sample data frame, and that here I have mentioned that axis subplots. Here I have created the subplots with number of rows 2, number of columns equal to 1. I have also mentioned that fixed size 12, 10. Here I have printing that plot, first plot, like temperature plot. I have created that for that I have plotted giving the index of temperature and label temperature. I have selected the temperature column and labeled as temperature. Marker as just I have given the word to the point out that where that point is, and color is I have given is blue. Here set X label as date, Y label is temperature, title is date versus temperature variation. Same as grid is given yes, and legend also given. Same as I have created humidity plot. I have selected the humidity column and labeled as humidity and color as green. I have same as I have given the other X labels, Y label as humidity, and set date versus time. Now we will plot that subplots. See, we'll get two different plots here for date versus temperature variation plot. One is we can clearly clear about the full variation here, detailed variation. Here, temperature date versus humidity plot. Sorry, humidity variation. Now I am just changing that type. I want that plot side by side, not by one by one. For that purpose, I will just use the row number is 1 and I want two columns. It will use, see, now it will change that row to columns. For that purpose, it is useful to useful for row number of rows and number of columns. We can use reduce that size also. See that plot is changed. Now we will see another example. Rolling window average. Rolling window average is first what it will do is first it will calculate that average moving average based on the window size what you have given, and then it will move to next window, calculate the average, and then it will move to next windows. Here I have created this. We'll see the example. Here I have created the example of data data frame, and that in that data frame I have taken that temperature. I want to calculate the temperature rolling moving. For that purposes, I am using rolling dot rolling function that window size of 2. Now we will print that what the data is look like. See here that data frame that comes with temperature rolling mean. What it will take is do is that first in the first index is 0 because we are given the window size is 2. So it will take first two values and index mean it to that second index, and then it will take second index to third index and mean it to third index. Here 28 and 30 it gives mean of 29, so it will use 29 meaning. If I am increasing window size means it will use accordingly. See here I have just used the window size 3, so that first two rows are null values. After that it will do that. It will take first three values and do the average and give it as well. Here it will take another three values giving do a rolling moving average and give it to us. Like that it will work. Now we will see about renaming the column with new one. Can we use data frame? Yeah, we can use data frame to plot functions. Here we have created a data frame. Now using the data frame only, I have created a plot. The data frame is here. That data frame is consists of date, temperature, and humidity. Here that plot is plot using. I have just compared. I have plotted the plot using date versus temperature and date versus humidity. Yeah, data frame only used to create plots. Is this understandable now? I hope it will understand. Now we will rename the column. I have a existing data frame with the name of with that name, age, and city. Like that, I have created a data frame. I want to change the data frame column name to new ones, like name to full name, age to age in years, residence to residential city. I want to replace it. For that purpose, we use that rename functions. I have just created the column names for rename functions. Here I have just used the rename functions. I have selected the columns equal to, I want to change that column to new columns in place true. Yes, I want to I want to do that. For, it is like yes. Now I will execute this code. So we'll see about, see, now it is original data that city names, that consists of name, age, and city. Here data frame after renames. Here the name is changed to full name, age is changed to aged in year, age is in year, city is changed to resident city. Now we will see about another example. We will see about how to change that data types. I have first I have first created a data frame, and data frame that consists of date in datetime format. We will just print that data frame dot info. Here that date column consists of data frame into datetime column. I just want to that datetime column to string. We'll see about how we'll do that. Here I will just remove that. Here what I have done is that I want to convert the data frame of date column to string. For that purpose, data I have selected the date column, and I want to select as type as string. For I have given this. Now we will execute and see. I will see about here. We will see about information about the column. See here, the date column is changed to object. For that purpose, that as type function is used. Drop duplicate values functions. It is used to clearing the data, cleaning the data function. Here I have created the sample data functions with the same duplicate values. Like here, that name of Sadish repeated two times. I will just print the data to show that clearly. Sorry. Here I have created a sample data with that duplicate data of Sadish name. Sadish name repeated two times. Sadish data is repeated two times here. I just want to drop that data. For that purpose, drop duplicate function is used. We will see how it is work. Here I have selected the drop duplicate function data frame. Here I have data frame. I have used the drop duplicate functions. Now we will execute and see how it is look like. Here the duplicate value is removed. For that purpose, here the duplicate values exist the original data frame. After using the drop duplicate function, the duplicate values removed. For that purposes, that drop duplicate function is used. We'll see about replace the data with the existing one. Here I have created a sample data that is already in. I already created, and after that I want to replace that data for that city to state, like Chennai to Tamil Nadu, Chennai to Hyderabad to Telangana, Bangalore to Karnataka. I want to replace that. How I will do it? I have just selected the state column. See, I want to insert state column. Insert state column. For that, I have selected the data frame. Data frame of city column and replaced it with mapped city. If you have a six duplicate data, it will only take first columns and it will remove other data. So how it will work? It only select the first index and remove the all index. Is that understandable now? For example, if it is, I am just changing that data. Will studies to studies and studies. Uh, and sorry. Here that name consists of duplicate value of 4 duplicate values. I will execute that. What it will shows. We'll see about. See here that index values of 1 to 3 is both all values are duplicate values only. That repeated multiple times. But it will shows sorry, it will take only 0th index. That's how it is work. It only shows first index and it will remove delete all other indexes. Now we'll see about that replacing the data. Replacing the data is I want to replace the city data with state data. Like for that function, I have selected the city, and I want to replace with map state data. We'll see how we'll execute and see how it is look. See 1 minute. Wait. Replacing the here that is original data frame. Now it is data frame comes with replacing the data. Replacing the data is not removing the data city data to another data. It is just adding the data to new column. If you want to remove that city column, we just use drop function. Here I have dropped the city column. Here I have removed the city columns, and now it's looked at only state column is present. For that purpose, the drop column is used. So drop function is used. We will see about how to add new columns to data frame. I will wait. I have just created a simple data frame that consists of 2 columns like age, name and age. I have just printed this. I want to add city columns to this city column to this data frame. For that purposes, what I have done is I have just added the city column New York, London, Paris. I have created, and it will add it to it is assignment function is used to add the new column to the data frame. Now we will execute and see here the city column is added to data frame. Now we will modify the data into data into the data frame. For that purposes, assignment operator, same assignment operator is used. I have just selected the age column. I want to modify the existing ages to new ages. I have given a new ages 26, 31, 23 now. Now we will print what we'll see that what data looks like. See here, the data column is changed. Here before the John's age is 25. Now the John's age is 26. And Bob age is 22, Bob age is now 23. Like that, for that purpose, to modify the data purpose, it is used to assignment function used to both modify the modify data and add the data. Now we will see about drop data. We will already see the drop function is used to drop the data. Let's delete the data. Here I want to delete that one specific column like city. For the purpose, I have just given the city column. I want to given the city column and in place true. Now I will execute. See here that city column is received. These are the basic example of pandas. If you want to know more about pandas, you can dive in and explore more to the pandas, more about the pandas. That only give more knowledge about the pandas. Not only pandas. If you want to learn anything, means you have to dive in and learn about that more. And now I will stop sharing. I will go to that slide. Um, Conclusion about that session is we all seen that more about pandas, like how to import the data frame, how to how to load the data into the data frame, how to use aggregation functions, how to use mathematical functions, how to slice the data, how to plot the data. We use many things. Yeah. Um, I hope that it give that some small introduction to the pandas. If you want to more that if you want to know more about means, take a real time problem and solve that problem to know more about the pandas and unleash the potential. No. Yeah.